Okay, so I'm on day 10. Bless you. I'm on day 10 of 75 hard. And my 75 hard is nothing too scandalous. Because I know like a lot of people write down their rules and they'll be like, they have a routine that they stick by for 75 days. I love that. That's what I was trying to do at first when like first attempting to do 75 hard. But I always gave in and I never like I would forget about the rules and I was not locked in. But I'm taking it really easy this time. I'm just not drinking, no substance. And that's literally the only rule I gave myself. And I'm super proud of myself because I'm still good. And I'm super proud of myself because like I've declined like going out with friends and drinking and stuff. And I've normally would always be the type of person to be like, yeah, like I'll go because I love spending time with my friends. I love making memories and I just think that like why not? I'm young, but that's just not what I'm trying to do right now. I can still hang out with my friends. I can still have fun. I just don't want to drink. And I feel like I'm not strong enough to hang out with them while they're drinking and not drink. I feel like I have to keep my distance until I'm like strong. And that's fine. That's also like a pat on the back for me because like I'm setting boundaries. And that's hard to do. But it was hard to do, but it's not hard to do anymore. No, anyways, I'm still working on it, right? Okay, let me okay, anyways. What I'm trying to say is that while that was the only rule that I put on myself, like I've kind of been creating a new routine. At first, I was just writing in bed. I'm not even gonna lie. I was just writing in bed, playing video games, playing Animal Crossing, watching YouTube videos, doom scrolling on TikTok, fucking just on my Switch or literally on my phone. That's it. And while that kind of is still what I'm doing, um, I'm reading right before I go to bed. I've made it a routine to read at least 3 pages. I know that's not a lot, but hey man, it's something. And we're baby steps, okay? I've been reading a little bit, and really taking in the information that I'm reading and making these little videos talking to myself. And yeah, that's like the one little routine that I've started doing, and I actually love that routine right now. My sleep, can we talk about how good my sleep has been? Okay, because like when I was a avid stoner, I felt like I needed to smoke to go to sleep and have a good sleep. And then when I stopped, like obviously my sleep was still good, but like I don't know, I think it was just all in my head. But then I low-key, I'm not saying I'm an alcoholic, but I low-key like whenever I would drink and I would come back a little buzzness and then I would go to sleep, I felt like that was a way to go to sleep. Like it just became like a new, like I don't even know what to call it. Like I don't even know what to call it, but I feel like I'm making sense. Like at first it was smoking, but then it became drinking, and now I like can't depend on nothing. Actually, that's a lie. I've low-key been taking melatonin gummies to go to sleep, but it's because, dude, I don't know if I have insomnia. I've never been clinically diagnosed because love that for her. I wish I was a cat. But anyways, yeah, I've never been clinically diagnosed for anything, but Why do I always feel like I need to take something to go to sleep? Why can't I just sleep? No, I actually can go to sleep, but I need to be tired. I don't know what it is, bro. That's something that I need to look into. I'm definitely gonna look into that. I'm gonna reflect. I'm just venting. But anyways, I should definitely go to sleep because it's literally like 4, pushing 4:30. It's okay. What did I read today? Let's see what I read today. We tend to think, or at least fear, that creative dreams are egotistical, something that God wouldn't approve of for us. Our creative artist is an inner youngster. If our mom or dad express doubt or disapproval for our creative dreams, we may project that same attitude onto a parental God. This thinking must be undone. And then it talks about spiritual chiropractic. And basically, this chapter is called Spiritual Electricity, the Basic Principles. And by the thing that I just said right now, the spiritual chiropractic, it's basically saying that, like, okay, let me read this other page or other part. It says, we undertake certain spiritual exercises to achieve alignment with the creative energy of the universe. And I think that that's really cool. And then I underlined a lot of stuff over here, but I want to talk about all of it. So hold on. It says, those who speak in spiritual terms routinely refer to God as the creator, but seldom see creator as a literal term for artist. I am suggesting you take the term creator quite literally. You are seeking to forge a creative alliance, artist to artist. And then I wrote, like, basically the same thing. I wrote, like, I underlined that, and then I put a little note next to it, and it says God equals creator, creator equals artist, artist to artist equals alliance. I know I'm saying God, but that's because I believe in God. I believe in source. I believe in the universe. I believe in the higher power. I have literally no storage. It keeps cutting off. But basically, I believe that there's something more. And I know everyone has like different opinions, and everyone's opinions are valid. I know some people are atheists. I at some point thought that I was an atheist, but the reason why I'm bringing this up is because that's why I really like this book, because it literally says it doesn't like matter what you believe in. It's basically like, hold on, let me find what I'm looking for. So in this book, it doesn't even refer to it as God or anything. It refers to it as like, hold on. It refers to it as good orderly direction or flow. And I like that because it's like, it's just talking about taking your creativeness in the good orderly direction or flow. And it says here, what we are talking about is a creative energy. God is useful shorthand for many of us, but so is goddess, mind, universe, source, and higher power. And when I read that sentence, I was like, I literally love this book because I have like always referred to God as like, well, growing up I referred to God as God. But then when I like redirected my, like when I just like changed my point of view or whatever I'm trying to say, I started referring to it as universe, but then I also refer to it as higher power. But I've heard so many people refer to it as like source, and I was always like, huh, that's interesting. But it's ultimately all the same thing, in my opinion. Today I also read how it talks about how as we change, the universe expands. So it talks about chief among these changes will be the triggering of synchronicity, We change, and the universe furthers and expands that change. And then it says in quotations, leap and the net will appear. And I love that because it says, once we remove the blocks, the flow moves in. And then it says here again, it says literally, again, I do not ask you to believe this. In order for this creative emergence to happen, you don't have to believe in God. I simply ask you to observe and note this process as it unfolds. In effect, you will be midwiving, and witnessing your own creative progression. I don't know if I pronounced that correctly. And then at the end of another paragraph, it says, I don't believe, I know. And I highlighted that because I just like, it reminded me of like, because I watch a lot of videos of like people who like try to manifest, or who manifest, not try, who manifest. And they say like, you just have to know, you know what I'm saying? And I don't know if I'm going to say this the way I want it to come off as, but basically it's like, if you say like, if you're like reaching for something, you're basically saying that you are not what you're reaching for because you're reaching. But if you just know and you embody, then, you know, like the universe aligns with you, because it's like you are already knowing, you are already like, I already know, it's just gonna work out. I hope that's making sense, but that's why I highlighted that, because that's what it reminded me of. And let's see, one last thing. Okay, so the last page that I read, it says basic principles. It's this page right here, and it has 10 basic principles, and it says that we're supposed to read them through once a day and keep an inner ear cocked for any shifts in attitudes or beliefs. Cocked. Anyways, they're all really good, but I underlined and highlighted a few, and this is where I'm going to end it off. It says, creativity is God's gift to us. Using our creativity is our gift back to God. It is safe to open ourselves up to greater and greater creativity. And then the last one is, our creative dreams and yearnings come from a divine source. As we move toward our dreams, we move toward our divinity. I hope I pronounced that correctly. Okay, two last things that I highlighted. I'm so sorry. I just can't get enough. But basically, it says, great improvisers are like priests. They are thinking only of their God. And I love that, because I love when people improvise, because it's just like, how did you just come up with that so naturally? How did that just flow? The girls are fighting. And then the last one, it says, what we play is life. And I love that, because like, I just love that. Anywho, oh my God, you know what I'm noticing right now? This is actually crazy. This is actually really crazy. Julia Cameron, the author, the illustrator, she dedicated this book to Mark Bryan, because she says that he pushed her to do this. And when she like thought she had finished this, he was like, no, you're missing things. You need to do more. She basically is just like giving her kudos to him. And the bookmark I'm using literally says, mark my words. And this is my favorite bookmark, because it's like, mark my words, like, watch me. You know what I'm saying? Don't mind my children. They're fighting. Anyways, I've yapped long enough. I'm gonna start going to bed. It's about that time. Good night. Love you.